The question I get asked most often is, will government change the rules and regulations in respect of trusts? And the answer is quite simply no, or at least let me put a proviso to that, not in the very near future. The first reason that surrounds that is trusts are not a statutory instrument. In other words, it does not come into existence out of legislation or out of Parliament. In fact, it comes into existence out of contract. Simply put, a trust is a contract between a founder or a donor and his board of trustees. And that document simply is a contract in how that particular board of trustees is to administer trust assets for the benefit of a class of beneficiaries. So it's simply a contract. And coming out of contract means the rules that regulate it are from common law and not from statute. Simply put, it means government can't simply go to Parliament, make an amendment to a piece of legislation or repeal a piece of legislation, and then that particular trust does not exist anymore. So quite simply put, to change our common law, to change a very specific instrument in our law that has been around for probably about 200 years, is unlikely to change anytime soon. On the other side of the coin, certain legislation could be imposed that would affect, amend, alter how trusts operate in South Africa today. The question that should be put then is, what is the likelihood that that kind of legislation, that amendment legislation, would come into effect anytime soon? And the answer is not likely. The reason for this is legislative change takes quite a long time to come into effect. First of all, there would need to be certain South African Law Commission involvement, there would need to be certain white papers going before Parliament, discussion, public debate, and then ultimately a legislative or a parliamentary debate on that issue. That process takes years. An example of that is the Companies Act. The Companies Act, which is only coming into effect next year in April 2011, process began in 1997. So a huge amount of input, a huge amount of involvement, and a huge amount of time has passed, allowing us to fully be aware of what changes we can expect. So quite simply put, if this process was to be started anytime soon, we would be in a position to know that it would end, know what those alterations, amendments are, and make the necessary adjustments to your trusts or to assisting you in structuring your business or your personal estate.